Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So in this video we're going to take on the movie bosses SBR and we're going to use the latest int DFE Broly as the lead, the friend lead. The rest of the team is going to be pretty straightforward. We have Turles as our lead. He's going to be a floating support, and then we have Lord Slug, the free-to-play card, along with the Agility Cooler free-to-play. And then on the other rotation we are going to sit the int free-to-play Broly with the friend lead Broly. We're going to have Turles floating, we're going to have Metal Cooler floating, and we're going to have the movie bosses Resurrection AF Frieza floating as well. So just to take a look at the team, obviously one of the big cards here is the Lord Slug. He has the chance to stun. He's got some pretty high defense, sitting close to 100,000, and he's also provides a bit of healing as well and some decent damage. The Agility Cooler very similarly as well. He has multiple attacks, he has decent defense, and he additionals quite often against Hybrid Saiyans and Pure Saiyan enemies, so he can build up that defense quite quickly. And then obviously beyond that we have the Broly is going to link with the Broly. Now this int Broly is not great. I built full crit on him. He is okay. He does manage to crit substantially in the stage, which obviously produces quite a bit of damage, but overall he's not really the best unit to take. So just keep that in mind when you are doing the stage, that you're going to want to link him up with this Broly, but he does take damage. He gains 30% attack and defense every turn, so only by his third turn will he have his full passive, and then he'll be okay in terms of tankiness, but he's not going to be great. Metal Cooler is going to float as long as we stay reasonably high up on health. He should be fine. This Broly here will be able to tank perfectly fine. He's really good. This is 55% Broly. So to just quickly briefly obviously go over the units, obviously Broly is 180% attack and defense with 18% damage reduction and 18% chance to crit, medium chance to launch, and additional attack. If he is fighting a Hybrid Saiyans, Pure Saiyans enemy, he has a additional chance to launch another super attack along with an additional 18% damage reduction and 18% crit chance after supering. So that means basically after he supers in all these stages, because we're always fighting Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans, he's going to have a 36% chance to crit, which is pretty good. He raises attack and defense on his SA, and he has his active skill. In terms of this side of the team, obviously the Frieza is not great defensively right off the bat. He has to take a couple of hits to build up his defense, but we are very fortunate in the fact that he can build up that defense, and he also has the ability to increase his defense and support the rest of the rotation, because he is a movie boss's support type unit. That makes him a little bit more useful in terms of design, because we can float him and he can tank decently once we have a damage reduction item active, because he does have 30% damage reduction. So we don't get too lucky with Lord Slug in the beginning. He does manage to eventually get his stuns going when we need them from the second round onwards, but we do not manage to get too lucky with him in the beginning, but we get it done, so that's still a good job. And then obviously this Cooler, he does really well here, getting multiple super attacks. So Cooler stacks defense every time he fires an attack, so obviously the more supers that Cooler is firing off, the better it's going to be for us. So yeah, but it looks like we have relatively decent control of this first round here. Turles will transform from time to time, providing us with a heal and a higher chance to stun, but we do lose his support capabilities because of that. In terms of linkage, obviously you can see Broly sitting about 130k. They share 4 links, which is pretty good. They share 2 big attack links and Prepared for Battle, which is his key link, and they also share Berserker, which activates when you are below 50% health. So that is quite helpful. Obviously it's not as good as Big Bad Bosses. I don't know why they decided to nerf all the Broly units, or to use this as a balancing tool for the Broly units. But yeah, basically Berserkers like an old big bad bosses. But yeah, he does have it, so when we get low we can rely on a nice big defensive and attack minded increase. But you can see here, Broly's really kind of carrying quite heavily. This Broly's only at 55%, so his damage is not great, and he's only at level 1 Lynx. But if you were to level him up to level 10 Lynx, and you were to move him up, and maybe get 1 or 2 dupes in him, he's going to be hitting very hard. And defensively, he's fantastic. He's really, really good. He's really reliable and a lot of SBR. I might start doing SBR showcases now that we're nearing the end of my original SBR guides. So we'll just have to see how that goes from here. But yeah, so we get to the second round. Nothing too crazy. All pretty straightforward so far. We've kept pretty good control of the fights without getting Lord Slug stuns. Here what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to focus down on getting the physical Vegeta out the way, because obviously we have the weakest link being our Int Broly, and then we're going to want to focus on Trunks, and then we can take out Goku for last. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Cooler, you know, does alright. I keep him linked with Lord Slug. They're a decent pairing. They have Thirst for Conquest, which is a pretty big buff. It's attack and defense of 15%, which is obviously quite a large amount. But that being said, could there be a better unit out there? For sure. I think when you're running the stage and you remember this is an entirely free-to-play team, there are plenty much better units that you can run out there. You've got the Tech Freezer, you've got Janemba, you've got Physical Cooler, you've got all the Brolys, Tech Broly, Strength Broly, Physical Broly, Int Broly. You've got the Broly Chila and Lemo card, you've got the Turles LR, you've got Lord Slug Physical, who's probably worse than the Tech, technically. You've got Agility Metal Cooler, you've got Bojack, who's just come out, and he's a very excellent card. So you've got quite a lot of options in terms of the movie bosses category, so I don't think you should be that concerned in following this team exactly. This team obviously gets it done, but there are plenty of options that you could run for the movie bosses category. You've got all the golden freezers. You could run a Wicked Bloodlines team, you could run a Conquest of Terror team, you could run a Cooler team, you know, Strength Cooler as well. So there's plenty of units for you to use, there's plenty of units for you to work off of, but I found that this team works. It's quite reliable. Obviously, it's pretty easy to build. You just need a friend in Broly. 55% will do. Anything more will help you greatly. And you obviously need a movie boss's lead of your own. But that's about it. From there, it's pretty straightforward. You can see here, Broly's really showing out in terms of these last couple of turns. He's been getting multiple super attacks. He's, you know, taking no damage at all. He's getting crits. So yeah, we're doing pretty well. This Broly also does pretty well. Like I say, he's getting some really good crits going on. He does okay. Like I say, when he takes damage first on, you can kind of really see him struggle. But, you know, if you avoid that, then you're really starting to look alright. So yeah, it's definitely not something that I would worry about too much. You know, just see how your team can perform from there. And then yeah, we have so we're going to use Lord Slug. We're going to try and control Vegeta down now that we're down to 2 enemies. Try and control Vegeta so we can focus in on the Goku, but ideally here you just want to kind of focus in on Vegeta, control him and take him out, and then you want to obviously from there just kind of ease into eliminating the Goku next. So there we take a super attack, of course, because why not take a super attack before we've got our extra defense. Cooler does, like I say, because of his additional attacks against Pure Saiyans, the Hybrid Saiyans and all that, he does do some decent damage, but I mean, there are better options that aren't free to play. You know, any Cooler there at all would be a better option. Even the physical Lord Slug probably is a better option because of his giant form, the fact that he links really well with the tech Lord Slug. and he has big bad bosses, so that would be a decent combo to obviously run for that stage there. As we can see now, we've got Broly back on rotation, so we're just trying to choose who he's going to go for, because we didn't get any stuns. No, we did. We stunned Vegeta, so we're just going to see who he goes for, just to try and check out what damage we can do. I pop a Princess Snake. The reason I'm popping a Princess Snake is just because I'm concerned about the Metal Cooler's defense, which obviously when your health is quite low, it is quite low, and we don't have big bad bosses sitting on the Broly to help activate on the Cooler to give him that extra defense. So we're just going to activate the Princess Snake to kind of just keep the rotation lively and healthy, and then we're going to have Broly hopefully eliminate this Goku with the other Broly. So yeah, Broly's attack animations, just while we're on the topic, is a pretty clean card. I've enjoyed using him. I've done a showcase video on him, or it's in the works, but I'm just kind of working on the best way to change up my presentation of those, so you might see that come a little bit later. I'm just working on improving some of my unit review videos and just cleaning them up a little bit, making them either neater from an editing perspective, and just fixing the flow. But yeah, so if we take a look here, you can see we're really starting to control the fight now. I try super hard to not get the Dokkan attack here. I was hoping that Cooler would go off and get some additional attacks and maybe get a crit or two. We don't get so lucky enough as to have that happen. So we do end up wasting our Dokkan attack on the second phase of the fight here. But I mean, you know, it happens. You can't do anything about these type of things. They sometimes just happen. Dokkan attacks you can try and control, but you know, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You need to collect the orbs to get super attacks. So it is one of those things. We at least will get the health to heal up a little bit of the damage that Cooler took, and we'll be able to enter the next fight quite fresh for the fight. Obviously, if we had managed to hold the Dokkan attack, it would have really helped this final stage, but you know what, it's not too much of a concern. So yeah, the final stage is 3 units as well. It's Gohan, Goten and Trunks. And we just need to be a little bit wary out here in this stage, because we just need to make sure that we can control the fight again and get some stuns off and eliminate 1 or 2 of them, thus controlling the fight and really obviously improving our odds, because the less units there are, the more our utility is going to matter, the more chance we have to stun the units and move from there. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a Tech, Gohan, Strength, Goten, and Agility Trunks. So fortunately, again, Broly has no type disadvantage. His only type disadvantage was really in the first stage against Krillin. Even then, he didn't die to any of his attacks. He tanked them quite well, so very good. We get a good opening rotation here of having the 2 Brolys linked and having Turles kind of sit on rotation. We can then pop an Icarus and kind of proceed from there. We're not too worried about dying, because obviously Broly has his damage reduction active. It would be nice if they had supered after Broly's super attack, because it would add an extra 18%, which would have changed damage. Probably would have knocked that almost down to 0. But yeah, so we'll just see how the stage goes. Broly should clean everything up. We'll take out the Goten first. Mainly, no particular reason, but we have a lot of type advantage against the Tech Gohan, and we don't particularly have any weakness to the Trunks. So basically, I just want to try and eliminate the Goten and remove his only advantage, which is obviously against our Frieza. And then yeah, from there we'll just be able to see how it goes. We'll use a Dende and heal up. And then we'll try and get the stun, obviously, to help control the fight. And we'll just move on from there. Hopefully next turn Broly will finish with the Goten. And we should all be really good to go. But yeah, so talking about Movie Bosses Saga, obviously, as you can see in this, it's not the hardest SBR. It's pretty decently hard. I remember when I first tried it was quite hard, but Movie Bosses back then was a very limited category. I mean, we only had Turles literally as the lead. So you could only have Turles. Turles hadn't appeared on Global for what felt like forever. So having Turles, like having the necessary lead for Movie Bosses, was almost impossible, which left you trying to attempt it with things like Wicked Bloodlines team, or an all extreme types lead like the Metal Cooler. So it wasn't exactly the best situation at the time on Global, but we've really improved our odds since then. Things have improved slightly, so yeah, it's not as bad as things were. So we definitely much easier time of it now. Plus we've got a couple good free-to-play options since then. The Freeze is a good free-to-play option. The Cooler and the Lord Slug are obviously very, very good. I wish they would give this Burley an easy A, so you could join Clan Burley. But yeah, overall, obviously some very good options. A shame is that the Sorbet and Freezer are not on this category. For some reason they chose the anime version of them, I guess. And so they're not on the Movie Bosses category, even though like half of the Golden Freezers are on the Movie Bosses category. Very strange decision, but it's okay. At the end of the day, you can't control these type of things that happen. So it's not too much of an issue. So we have Burley doing his thing, tanking, doing his job. He's going to do some more nice damage to Goten. Obviously, this Burley is not a bad link partner for this Burley, so if you were to link level them, or find even a 55% one that has higher leveled links, this Burley will do more damage, have a little bit more defense. He will just be doing a little bit more, which is obviously very good for you. If you want to link level free-to-play units, you're welcome to. The first 1 to 5 levels don't take too long, so they'll give you a slight edge, a slight advantage in terms of damage and things that you want to do. So you are welcome to obviously give it a go if you need, and take a look from there. But yeah, so obviously now we've taken out the Goten and we've gotten Gohan to half health. We have a little bit more control over what's going on in the fight. Hopefully next turn Lord Slug can get the stun and thus give us full control over what's going on realistically. We also kind of want Turles to try and get a stun, because that's really going to help us in terms of just preventing a lot of damage. But yeah, we should be perfectly fine from here in and out. I don't foresee any problems. Obviously we finished the stage because that's why the video is up, so yeah. But yeah, we do some decent damage. You could arguably should have maybe put Cooler on the Gohan just in case he gets the crits to knock him out, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's all perfectly fine. So here Turles took super attack, and I've honestly thought we were going to die, but we had enough of our health pool that we're perfectly fine. And then obviously we're very fortunate that next rotation Broly got his super attack, his active skill, which is pretty swag, and that's going to increase his attack by 60%, make him effective against all types. Plus we're going to have Berserker active because we're below the 50% health threshold, so you can take a look there. He's got 200k defense, 4 links active. He's going to do some serious damage as well, like 3 million or so. And yeah, that's going to help wrap up the stage nice and easy. Not too concerned because we've obviously got the Gohan going next, but yeah, here we go. Broly sorting things out and claiming everything. This is a 55% Broly, so obviously you should be able to find quite a few of them if you're interested in trying on the stage with this team build. The units I would suggest dropping out, if possible, is obviously the Int Broly. He's not very good. And then, if possible, I would probably replace Metal Cooler with someone else. That's a bit better. But the rest of the team is perfectly fine. Maybe link up Lord Slug with his physical version if you have it. But yeah, there we go, guys. So that is our Movie Bosses SBR done with theme-appropriate music, because I forgot to record the sounds. But yeah, it happens every once in a while. But yeah, I thought it was still a good run, so I thought I'd just put it up. And yeah, I'll check you guys in the next video. Cheers and bye.